Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. A regional wage board has approved the petition to bump up the daily minimum pay in the Zamboanga Peninsula. The approved wage order granted an increase of 35 pesos in the region's daily minimum wage rate, bringing it up to 351 pesos. A 500 peso monthly increase has also been granted for domestic workers, pushing their minimum monthly salaries up to as much as 4,000 pesos. The new wage rates will take effect 15 days after publication. And cases of dengue in Cagayan Valley have gone up this rainy season. DOH Region 2 Director Dr. Grace Santiago told 1PH that dengue prevention efforts took a back seat as health workers and health officials focused on the COVID-19 pandemic. Santiago said that a majority of dengue patients in the regions are aged 11 to 20. They are also confirming reports of 6 dengue-related deaths in the region.
Mababa pa rin naman po yung ating case fatality, but at this rate, kailangan na po talaga natin na tutukan yung ating 4S, yung search and destroy, yung mga breeding places natin. Tapos po yung seeking early consultation.
Incoming Trade Secretary Fred Pascual is open to reviewing whether there is a need to expand the list of products under the suggested retail price list as prices of some basic commodities continue to climb. Shaila Francisco with the report.
As the war in Ukraine drags on, its effect is felt more and more in economies around the world, including the Philippines, from soaring prices of oil to lack in supply of some goods. To plug the gap when it comes to the supply of some items, incoming Trade Secretary Alfredo Pascual says it's high time to look for more trading partners.
We need to scan the market, and see whether there are friendly nations that we can approach, or even nations we have not dealt with before, but have the supply. We need to be resilient ourselves by being resourceful.
But it's not just consumers who are hurting with high prices of commodities. Manufacturers are also now asking for price hikes. Pascual says such requests will be evaluated. He is also open to reviewing whether to include more products under the suggested retail price lists. For now, he advises both consumers and manufacturers to look for substitutes to expensive inputs and products.
And let the market competition take care of issues like what you're saying. Do we need to include the small retailers, sari-sari stores? Maybe we don't need to, as long as there are alternatives to consumers to buy products from outlets that are observing the suggested retail prices.
With the economy taking a double beating, first from the pandemic and now the war in Ukraine, Pascual says it's high time to focus on one of the economy's bloodlife, the medium, small, and micro enterprises. This includes providing working capital, tapping the SB Corporation for financing, and the use of technology.
Expand their market by integrating them into the e-commerce platforms, either existing or platforms that we will develop specifically for the small enterprises.
He also wants to help boost employment, first by strengthening the BPO sector through further training with state institutions, as well as modernizing manufacturing and agriculture to further attract a younger workforce. Shaila Francisco, we are One News.
One News Now will be back with more stories after this quick break. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The LTFRB has approved a 1 peso increase in the minimum fare for jeepneys as oil prices continue to soar. Gerard de la Peña with the story.
Jeepney drivers in Quezon City have started charging the 10 peso minimum fare to their passengers. This is after the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, approved the 1 peso provisional fare hike for PUJs on Wednesday. The fare hike is effective only in Metro Manila, Central Luzon, and Calabarzon, since there are no similar pending petitions in other regions. In the 4-page order, the board said that while the increase could push inflation up, they also have to consider the concerns of drivers and operators who have been dealing with consecutive oil price increases. The LTFRB said the number of public utility jeepneys in NCR went down by almost half compared to the past month. Many drivers opted not to go on trips due to the high prices of fuel products.
So what prompted us na i-approve yung board to approve the 1 peso increase was the thinking na in balancing the interest, at least kung piso yung i-increase natin, on the one hand, yung commuters hindi naman siguro gaanong masasaktan, especially in the light of the recent wage hike.
However, some drivers insist that the 1 peso increase is not enough.
Kahit pa paano, nakatulong naman din po, pero hindi pa rin po yun sapat sa pagtaas ng diesel.
Diesel pa rin.
Napakalaki po ng tinaas ng diesel ngayon.
Baliwala rin yun eh.
Kasi po?
Kasi nga, merong tataas din yung boundary namin nun. Tapos, yun nga, nadagdagan ng 300, tapos, sa crude rin mapupunta.
Passengers also feel the pinch, although some of them have already been paying 10 peso fares for the past couple of weeks.
Lugi. Charot. Lugi.
Bakit?
Ang hirap ng pera ngayon, sir eh. Ang hirap ng trabaho. Mahirap kitain yung pera kaya mahirap kapag 10.
Medyo malaki epekto kasi 4 na beses ako nagji-jeep eh. So 4 pesos sa akin yun. Pero nakatulong naman sa kanila eh.
Transport groups requested the 1 peso fare hike, while they are still waiting for their petition for a 5 to 6 peso fare increase to be approved. The LTFRB said that they will deliberate on the matter on June 28. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
And one coffee shop in Quezon City is making a buzz for serving not only caffeinated drinks, but also more information about the Duterte drug war. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro with the story.
Hidden in a cozy corner of Cubao Expo in Quezon City is a unique coffee shop to calm your nerves while serving as home for many tragic stories. Celine Coffee Shop is completely run by families of the victims of the war on drugs for the last 6 years. Grace Garganta's father Marcelo and brother Joseph were killed just hours apart on July 22, 2016 during a police operation in Navotas City. Grace wanted to be a chef when she was in college, but that was put on hold after she became the breadwinner of the family.
Pinapalakas ko na lang din yung sarili ko at mga kapatid ko. Pero yung mga pangangailangan nila na hindi ko na kaya. Kaya kahit mga bata pa sila, nagtatrabaho na sila, ng mga batilyo, nag-aatak na sila ng banyera, 50 kilos sa fishport.
Sharon Angeles, the head barista of Silingan, said the main goal was to give jobs to the families of the victims. Silingan, meaning neighbor in Cebuano, employs a total of 6 families. Silingan first opened last year, a project by Brother June Santiago of Redemptorist Church and human rights group Resback. Though Sharon admits, business has been rough.
Nahiya talaga kami pag wala kaming benta. Alam ba, nasa 300 ang namin, sales. Nahiya ako sa Yun. Sabi ko, bukas na lang, baka may tao, dumami-dami.
They also aim to educate people about the consequences of extrajudicial killings. According to the official figures, more than 6,000 were killed during the war on drugs. But human rights group says the number is much higher. With the loss of their loved ones, Grace and Sharon's lives will always be a cup half empty. But it's in that emptiness where they chose to keep the memories of their fathers, brothers, and husbands alive. And what better way to discuss such a polarizing topic than with a warm cup of coffee? Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro, we are One News.
For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.